strategy. They're there for communications and so many other things. But I think the vibes and making sure that the team is kind of positive and a great mindset is going to be just important as every strategy that you have in your book.
100%. Vibes are crucial, just as crucial as momentum is, especially in some game modes like Hardpoint, where it's kind of non-stop momentum. If you're able to keep it up, going from one point to the other, trying to get ahead before the next point appears, you kind of got to stay locked in the game. You can't let those rough matches get to you. So we will be starting out on Shallot. Capture the flag. Game begins. Match number 1, day 2 of the eSports World Cup featuring Fortnite. Jacob, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as well, and hopefully these teams are not too excited because they don't want to mess up here, because this is the elimination match. Loser of this match, their eSports World Cup will end, and that will be it, and having to watch the rest of the matches with us all weekend long. But ZETA's already trying to defend. Dragon push towards the side. They get the flag out, but it's going to be short-lived. iTroll's still there. Gets another elimination on Dakota. Randu actually got the flag out, and he has a chance to bring it all the way, because if you look at the mini-map, it doesn't look like anybody from ZETA is in position to cut this one off.
He's going, he's running. Not even a minute has been played out, and we might just see the first flag cap here. It looks like they've secured it 1-0, and that's the first capture for Dragons, meaning if they do end up going to overtime, they already have the advantage.
I'm just looking at the chat throughout this one. We got a lot of Dragon fans. I want to hear them get loud in the chat throughout this all, because in less than 60 seconds, sometimes the game-defining flag captures, catching your opponent off guard, really not let them set their foot in this matchup, as Dragon, iTroll specifically, trying to defend the flag, and Coyote does go down. That's going to be a successful return for iTroll, and you could already see Dragon is putting themselves on the map. They're favoring towards these tunnels, which gives ZETA, especially Yuma, control of this pool. Let's just hopefully they can do something with it, because they were all 4 up. They got to take advantage of that time.
Yeah, there's kind of like rounds of aggression here, where first you got to play for that initial mid-map control. Once you win that engagement, you can push up closer to the flag, and Randu's already going to pick up Zago. Now has an option to push up closer, but the flank comes through. Coyote is going to get that elimination, but with the clusters exploding, Lua now with the HP advantage. This could be his chance as he takes out one. Looks for the second, but he goes down.
Yeah, almost was able to get that second one because of the siphon, but Coyote has the help, and he has it yet again. Mini's there along with him. You see them trying to clear their side of the map, but Ramiro's just trying to hold on to his position along with Randu. They have at least 50% of the map so far, pool and that crate side as well, which means ZETA's going to have to work. They're going to have to work to get any bit of this map back, and it's going to be hard, especially with Coyote going down and Zagu meeting him on the other side.
Romero with a huge snipe as well, taking him out. Mini now, gotta be careful. Cluster grenade in his own box. Nice little runaway strategy. I like what he was pulling off there. As Lua picks up one, trying to get Zago as well. He gets cracked, but he's then gonna go down. Mini with just 5 HP.
That would have been a good opening for him if he could have got both of those eliminations. That would have been a potential flag capture, but ZETA Division defending once more, but only for so long. iTroll quickly jumps in, gets the elimination, quickly trying to turn the tides once again onto the side of Dragons. He goes down, but you see all the distraction, all the time he bought with getting the focus on him.
Randu has to be careful. EMP comes through, but it's not going to be enough. Coyote now is going to be cracked. He has the option to go through tunnels here. Look for a potential flank as Romero is peeking through the window. The marksman looking to see if he can connect an angle, but the angle's connected onto him.
iTroll's just trying to hold on. iTroll's been a good anchor for the team. Nobody really has been able to get past him. Another elimination being picked up, which means Dragon has a 2-man advantage. Zagu, Mini, they're going to be able to get a few eliminations, but Romero's still pushing up. They need to clear their side of the map, and with those eliminations, Zagu going down, they've done just that, and they're just trying to take it one step at a time. Dragons isn't in a rush. They already have a 1-0 lead, so they have advantage up until ZETA scores a singular flag.
Yuma now looking for a little angle with the cluster. It's gonna hit, but it's also gonna be enough for the elimination. Got a little scared there for a moment. Now he's gonna get closer to the opposing team's base. This could be a solid push as they've already secured the flag, now running it down mid, but it looks like Randu is waiting at their spawn point. Will he be able to get their flag? Yes, he can. We could just have a stalemate here.
Yeah, he's at least going to be able to get this one out. Dragon got some quick and important eliminations that's going to open up that side of the field, but ZETA Division, they focused on the other side of the map. They focused on bringing the flag back. They found success there, but they're losing players left and right. Down goes Yuma, down goes Coyote. Dragon is now trying to siege onto the flag, and Randu knows it. The potential of that return is big, and he wants to be ready.
All he has to do is wait for it. Issue is, if he does get pushed, it could be a tragedy. Mini goes down. Can they return the flag here? The callouts are most likely coming through, but ZETA gets 2 eliminations. The flag has yet to be returned.
I gotta be Coyote getting that elimination onto iTroll, making sure that flag does not get reset. And you see he has pretty good utility towards the backside of those rocks. He has the grenade and he has the bubble shield just in case he gets pushed, which could be gearing up, especially with Zagu going down. But 10 seconds left on the clock. Return or not, I don't think anybody's in position to make it possible. So this half is going to end with Dragon eSports up 1-0. So now the pressure is on ZETA Division. They have 5 minutes to get at least 1 flag capture to force overtime.
And even if they get that 1 flag capture, they're going to need another one, because if they are into overtime and nobody captures a single flag, then Dragons will end up securing the win, because they did get that initial flag capture. So they not only have to tie it up, but even if they tie it up, they're going to have to capture another flag.
So it's not going to be easy, but I think for them, they just need to take it 1 step at a time. Score this first flag capture. Don't start this 5 minutes thinking I have to get 2. I have to get 2 and start to play antsy. You have 5 whole minutes, which seems like a little bit of time, 5 minutes, but that is a lot of time for ZETA Division to work with.
Now playing a lot slower compared to the start of this capture the flag round. More just holding angles as the push comes through. Mini gets a crack, but it's not going to be enough. Lua picks up that elimination. Coyote now the last one on the opposing end of this side of the map. It's going to be a 2v1 until his teammates come help him. But Coyote's going to go down. There's 2 players left in the building.
Yeah, they pre-fired Mini Pio on the other side. Luckily there is Yuma trying to come in, but Zagu goes down as well. It does look like Dragon is going to get the siege onto this flag. A touch is going to be possible, but ZETA Division trying to defend it. The flag is out. Randu's running it more than halfway there. Romero's just shutting down player after player for ZETA, and it does look like Randu has a clear path for Dragon eSports, and the second flag is going to be in the books, and the mountain that ZETA Division has to climb has just gotten bigger.
This is massive for Dragons. The 2-0 lead not only going to boost their confidence, but it's also going to take a toll on ZETA Division. They have to make something happen here. They do have a good chunk of time, 3 minutes and 40 seconds to get those 2 captures at least, but it's going to be difficult, Jacob.
It's like 2 45-pound plates on the chest of ZETA Division. They're trying to breathe, keep themselves alive, but they need to figure out a way to alleviate that pressure and push up. Yuma was able to get 1, but you see he looks back. Dragon players are just all over their side of the map, littered around. They have to worry about them first, just as much as they have to worry about taking space, and a great elimination by Coyote while moving up just gives them priority in this transition.
Going to continue with their push. iTroll doing what he can to stay defensive with that shield bubble. Still has utility in the inventory. Coyote with a nice little angle here. Issue is it's a left-hand peek if they find him first, like iTroll has here. I thought he was going to be able to take him out, but he actually stayed hidden. That crouch play did work out quite well, but Randu's going to go down. Coyote picks up another one. There's just 2-3 players on Dragons now to try and hold off their base, but it looks like they've successfully done it.
Yeah, ZETA just needs to take a little bit more time there. They had almost 3 minutes left on the clock. They needed another round of eliminations because they were just a little bit too antsy, got separated. Dragon was able to fight back, defend their base. It does look like ZETA is getting ready to kind of push up and do it again. They get that first elimination, but Yuma, he knows that whole pool side of the map is littered with Dragon players.
Mini now, he knows that Romero's low. He's trying to hunt him down, but Mini's just as low. Has to be careful as now Lua comes down. Zago picks up an elimination onto iTroll. As Randu is crouching up. Do they know is the big question. Does Coyote know there's an opponent on the other side of this bush? Yes, they do, and they're going to take him out.
They're on the 1. Bully's trying to get the flag out, and he takes down Yuma along the way. Another flag potential opportunity here. He has clear and open field in front of him. Nobody from ZETA Division is really in position, and even if they are, they have a blocker there in the tunnels for Dragon. It does look like Lua's going to find success. That is going to be a 3-0 lead. Dragon eSports over ZETA Division with 1:40 left on the clock. They have to be picture perfect from here on out.
They just made ZETA go from having a hard comeback to now needing a blessing to make something happen. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 3 flag captures away, but this could be the start of the marathon as Mini gets through the window, still yet to be eliminated. Flag on his back,
no.
But it's going to be unable to deliver.
You have to win those if you're Yuma. but it helped them stay alive. But they get the flag return for Dragon. They got full map control in the center, 70 seconds left on the clock. If they even threaten to push this flag in, waste some more seconds off on the clock, this is going to be over.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Just 1 minute left. Randu getting closer and closer to his opponent's flags. The MP is going to come through. Nice connection as he goes for the pre-fires now, but he has to wait for his team.
ZETA needs to figure out a way to turn this into a big play, counter cap opportunity. It starts right there with Randu going down. Yuma's going to get traded out, but they're keeping the trades in their favor by taking down Lua. You see them trying to push forward, but there's 40 seconds left on the clock. They need to relay 3 straight flags back to back to back. If any of them go down here, it's going to be over.
Just 30 seconds left. Last round of capture the flag. They literally need to capture 3 flags in 25 seconds. If they end up going down now, this could be the end for ZETA.
And that's going to be it. 3 members fall. Zagu's going to be the 4th. Dragon eSports rid ZETA Division off the map. And with 10 seconds left, there's just simply not enough time for a ZETA Division comeback. So Dragon eSports will start the elimination match on fire and take a 3-0 win on map number 1.
Looking good for Dragon so far. Map 1 in the books. Next up will be Hardpoint. My question is, do you think that ZETA or Dragons excel more at Hardpoint, Jacob?
Just right now, I think ZETA Division, I'm gonna start with the lesser of my thoughts first. I think ZETA Division has shown they can get eliminations, they can fight against a team like Dragon eSports, but how consistently can they actually fight them? On the other side, you can kind of see it here in the replays, in the highlights, that Dragon eSports was winning more fights than not, but it wasn't necessarily the 1v1s that I want to point out. It's the team fights that they were doing. The wolf packs around the map, even when it doesn't look like they had help, they were just trying to constantly position themselves to where at least one teammate somewhere around the map, whether it was in the house, in the middle, somewhere on the pool, they had a cross, they had the help. And I think that is the bigger aspect of Dragon eSports and their play, is they're working so well as a team. When it comes to Hardpoint and those chaotic fights, I think they're just going to have a little bit more teamwork in the aspect.
It's all about the chemistry. It's all about the teamwork, but also how they kind of learned and adapted from their matches yesterday. I mean, being on the elimination match of the day, if you lose this, you're out of the tournament. You gotta hope that they put in that extra work behind the scenes to kind of study their opponents and see what they can do. But you can see the frustration from ZETA Division here. Hopefully they can use that to kind of boost their momentum in the Hardpoint game mode. It is a bit more aggressive, a bit more chances to just all out brawl and battle each other, but also strategy is crucial. So I'm curious to see how both of these teams do play it out.
And you can almost see like the mirror opposite of emotions going down, on the side of Dragon eSports. They got all smiles, happy, probably telling jokes. The vibes got to be all high. And then on the other side, you're seeing them kind of slamming desks, the frustrations. And that could be from a number of things. It obviously could be losing 3-0 at face value. That's got to be upsetting. But on the side of ZETA, you got to wonder what's going wrong. Is it communication? Is it strategy? Are they simply just losing fights? This is the first match of the day, and depending on how warmed up ZETA Division actually is, that in itself could cause frustrations, that could cause an avalanche effect that leaks into the actual gameplay. So this being a Hardpoint could be a little bit of a blessing. You know me by now. I'm a glass half full type of guy. They played map number 1. They lost. They realized, like, hey, we're not playing like we should in terms of just overall slaying ability. So I want to see them kind of turn that around here on Hardpoint, and I want to see the potential of them to start it early on. Maybe give up those few seconds on the actual hill, get map control towards the statue, and kind of work from there.
We'll have to see if that strategy is going to come into play. We know the work has been put in. They've been preparing for this moment. So if we see those strategies come to play, I wouldn't be too surprised. Now it's just kind of a refresher that you need from the previous match. If you're ZETA Division here, you cannot let it get to your head, as there's still a lot more matches to be played out. Even if they go down on this Hardpoint, they have the keeper comeback potential. So they want to stay locked in, stay in the game here. But for Dragons, you can see the excitement. They're all feeling good now, hyped up, fist bumping the coach, and they're ready for this Hardpoint match.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking right now, red side, blue side, these guys are kind of taking just a little bit of an unorthodox kind of approach to the game. Map number 1 was picked by Dragons, and ZETA had the choice to pick blue or red side. Normally we do see red, but they actually chose to do blue. This time around, it's kind of the same thing where Panther is picked by ZETA, and typically Dragons would have picked red in any other matchup, but this time they're picking blue. I wonder if that has anything to do with this matchup, because we do know some teams, it may be like placebo or not, but they do have a bias sometimes to one side of the map or not.
We'll have to find out shortly. What people do like to do on the capture the flag mode on this is just make sure they can claim that higher ground position, which is by this Panther statue. But being Hardpoint, it's not about just that high ground position. It's about controlling those hard points that appear throughout the map. It's the first team that gets the 250 points. Depending on the map, there's a different amount of hard points here. There's 5 total hard points, and then I'll go back to the first one, which are in different sections of the map. So staying ahead of your opponents, getting to the next hard point before it appears, and making sure you can secure as many points as possible on those initial hard points is crucial for success here.
So the opening strategy here on Hardpoint Panther map number 2. ZETA is taking a rather keen focus on over towards their statue, but a double dip, and they're going into the hill as well. They're trying to spread out the numbers that they actually have, but it doesn't matter because Lua, Romero, both of them are going to go down. Randu's trying to be the driving force. He gets back-to-back eliminations before finally falling, but because of the early aggression by ZETA Division, they're going to be the ones on the hill.
Nitro goes down as well. Lua now looking to see if he can clean this one up, but Mini is going to go down. Romero with the pickup, but the 2 versus 1 is going to be too difficult, as now ZETA Division have the initial control of this hard point.
Yeah, and they already got halfway through the points, at least 50% of the hill. You see Dragon looking like they're going to contest it one more time, going through the back terrace, but Randu's going to get found out and taken down as well. Multiple players are falling. The next hill rotation is going to be in about 15 seconds, and this is where it's important to play your life, because Dragon will start off with a spawn on that side of the map.
Yuma looking to see if he can get back on the hard point. Shots connect onto Randu. He goes down. iTroll goes down as well. Continuing to hold on to this hard point, doing a great job, but now you can see the second point has appeared, and Dragon was ready for that. They had already pre-positioned themselves there, now taking out 2 of ZETA Division's players. Make that 3, it could take out the whole squad. It's a wipe.
Yeah, that's really good for Romero. Spawning in towards those back rocks, quickly put himself in position. You saw him land the first shot and followed up with a couple more after that, solidifying the eliminations, but Dragon's doing a good job of clawing back into this game. The first hill wasn't the best for them. It's kind of like attack and defense as ZETA's trying to go in, and they quickly get put right back on respawn. Mini PO being the only one to try to formulate some sort of elimination. He's trying to buy time for the rest of the reinforcements to move right back on in. Coyote gets another one, so ZETA's trying to turn this ship around.
Romero unable to connect that sniper shot, as now Coyote is incredibly low, but they are both going to regen their shields. Zago, no shield. Coyote, no shield, and the push is going to come through here. Romero goes down. Coyote with just a sliver of HP trying to clutch it up, but iTro is going to put a stop to it, and now with just 1 second left until the third point appears, you can see Yuma was ready for it.
Yeah, and those are great eliminations, because on this next rotation, Dragonwood had to fight through every member of ZETA Division, but because they fell, they instantly have to position themselves towards the Lambo, towards those back stairs where they're going to get the spawn, but another one's going to drop, which makes it easy for Dragon to continue to push in and get position.
Coyote now looking to see if he can connect some shots onto iTroll, picks up that elimination, but the flank from Randu is going to come through. Mini goes down. Coyote now, it's all up to you as he gets cracked, but he gets that elimination on Romero. The 1 versus 2, he takes out both. Can he get a third? No, he cannot, as iTroll is going to get shut down, but Randu once again gets eliminated, and ZETA Division are continuing to hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Randu was just playing awesome there for that moment, but how long can he keep it up with players flooding in one after the next, Next hill rotation is going to move over towards this P4. An easy rotation for some, harder for others. ZETA is going to be positioned already. They already counted out a couple of those Dragon members flooding in towards the hill. Randu's going to be the first one going down. ZETA is trying to alleviate that pressure as Zagu's scrambling. He gets found out. One's going to fall. 2v1 for iTroll on the hill. He's trying to contest this time. The bubble shield is going to dissipate, and ZETA is going to get that elimination, but he bought enough time for multiple members of Dragon to flood in that hill, keep the fight going, and keep the hill contested.
Getting closer and closer to 100 points. Dragon now trying to maintain their lead as much as possible as they do get that elimination onto Yuma. Mini now is going to take the 1v1 versus Lua. Gets the first pick, but Randu is going to finish him off.
Dragon is just relentless with the amount of pressure that they're putting on, especially after that first hill where ZETA was getting the majority of their time, and they fall yet again. But it's just a constant battle between these two teams. The post spawn is going to ZETA, but Dragon is putting in so much work to get multiple eliminations, push them back deeper and deeper into the spawn, and now ZETA has to make the decision. Less than 10 seconds left. Do they contest the dead time, or do they move on over to P5?
At this point, I think it's just better to get yourself positioned onto P5. Make sure you can claim as much as possible. And they have the same mindset here as they already take out one. Look for the second. They know Randu's close by and he's low. They just don't know exactly where. As now, Randu's going to do anything he can to waste their time as iTroll tries to hold on to this 5th point. As Yuma goes down, Mini goes down. Dragons might just have done it.
Yeah, they have woken up from that first hill. They realized, hey, we're probably playing a little bit too fast. We're throwing our lives away. And since then, they've been making sure to have that teamwork that I was talking about after map number 1. iTroll gets taken down. He gets caught off guard. Yuma with the beam. He almost gets back-to-back eliminations before he falls. But ZETA's putting in work. Multiple eliminations by Zagu is going to give him final control over P5, but all they get is 20 seconds for it.
Mini now seeing what he can do to hold on. He knows that Romero is close by. Doesn't want to push him though, as Romero has to wait for his team first. But with a miss calm, he is going to go down. Mini picks up the elimination. Now just 4 seconds left. These players should be looking for the next hardpoint, which is going to go back to hardpoint 1.
Yeah, that amount of hill time right there was good for ZETA Division. It's not going to break it wide open for them to come back, but it's going to inch them step by step by step, and that's exactly what they got to do. Cannot get over aggressive, especially with Zagu having full control over the statue with another elimination. The rest of the members of ZETA are positioned over towards P1, watching that back terrace. No free flanks for Dragons.
Looking to see if he can connect that snipe. He knows that iTroll's close. He hears the comms, but Randu's going to pick up Mini. Yuma's going to get the revenge as now ZETA Division closing that gap little by little, getting closer and closer to Dragon's points.
And ZETA's doing a good job. It's these late hills, so it does look like hill 5 back to the first one where ZETA's getting the majority of their time, but a late second push from Dragon. They're at least trying to cut it short here. Get ready for that next rotation, but you can already see in the mini-map, ZETA, they don't have it, so Dragon is going to be the first one onto the next hill while bleeding every second of this hill dry.
This is actually pretty huge for Dragons. They were able to extend that gap a little more, but now it's all up to who was able to get to the second point first. Who has that initial control? It is going to be Dragons once again with the first control of the second point. But how long are they going to be able to hold on to it as eliminations are coming through? iTroll has went down. Zago looking to pick up Randu here, but he gets taken out.
Yeah, you got to be able to win those matches if you're ZETA, because Dragon, they get that back rock spawn. They're going to be there quicker. They're going to be there faster every time you get that elimination. Meanwhile, the rest of the members of ZETA flooding in one by one by one. Mini Pio is going to go down. Zagu's going to fall shortly after. The numbers for Dragon eSports are seemingly too strong as they find and take out Yuma as well. Majority of the shine is going right back on over to Dragon eSports as Romero trying to land a sneaky shot. He misses and goes down for it.
Full control is what Dragons had on this second point so far. They have not lost it for a single second, and that trend is going to continue all the way to the end. Almost 200 points for Dragons, but it looks like ZETA is looking to claim this point 3 first.
Yeah, 2 of those members went down on that rotation. I thought it was going to be frightful, but Romero falls as well, which opens up a little bit of flexibility here for ZETA. They hold it down to Lambo. Back spawn is there as well. iTroll trying to move in, but he gets spotted out. Mini Pio going towards the backside as well, and Dragon is getting multiple eliminations in the spawn. They're trying to flip it in their favor. I'm not sure if it worked, though.
Shots are going to come through to Yuma. He's going to go down. Lua now going down as well, as Mini is trying to save it here for ZETA Division. Randu is going to wait for his teammates to get back in, spawn back in, and it looks like they're going to do a calculated team push.
Yeah, it looked like Dragon was trying to flip the spawn. They didn't find any success there, so they sneak back in through the far, flanking onto the Lambo. 2 quick eliminations being picked up. ZETA's trying to claw back by taking down iTroll, but with no time really left on this hill, everybody's forced to make that quick rotation. Right back on over to P4, and this is where Dragon eSports was able to contest the hill time and time again, no matter what position ZETA had.
That's a big rotate from ZETA, though. They've got every player on this 4th point. All they have to do is hold on to it now. This first engagement, this first fight is everything. Randu just 1 shot away. He goes down. iTroll goes down as well. It looks like ZETA Division is going to be able to hold on.
This is good for ZETA because 216 points. Dragon already has that lock. ZETA Division now eclipsing that 200-point mark. A good amount of time left on this hill. ZETA Division cannot win, but on the other side, they can get 1 point. Dragon eSports can get to 249 with uncontested time, but ZETA does a good job of contesting it, grabbing a few eliminations. Even if they fall, they did their job of making sure Dragon cannot win on this hill.
ZETA with Mini back on it, but iTroll is going to stop him, and Romero now looking to see if he can take control as Zagu gets tagged. as now Romero is going to go down. The battle for this 4th point is going to come to an end shortly, as it's just 3 seconds until the next point appears.
Yeah, Randu already overextended. He extended very, very early on over to the other side. P5 stealing away the spawn from ZETA. EMP going out. Mini Pio is going to go down, and Dragon eSports are going to solidify the map 2 win and take complete control of the series.
Great job from Randu there, picking up the last points by just getting out of the previous hard point, staying ahead, making sure he's on that spawn before any of ZETA Division's players reach it. It was a close match, but in the end, Dragons stayed true to their momentum from game 1.
Yeah, you can see very, very early on, ZETA had a decent lead, but from the ending of that first hill throughout the rest of the matchup, Dragon was making sure to not only lock down most of the spawns, but they were making sure to trade, contest a lot of the time, trying to flood in one by one, which most times it doesn't necessarily work, but you could see in some of the big moments, the players of Dragons were picking up 1, 2, 3 eliminations when you'd think they should go down without any.
Yeah, they did a great job, honestly, of not only getting eliminations, but their coordinated attacks. Dragon a lot of times would kind of wait as they had a player flanking around until their team was ready to do that full-on attack. And when they took those team battles, they tended to win a lot of them. But to be fair, ZETA did a good job as well. It was an incredibly close match. So for this next game mode, which is going to be the keeper game mode, that's also very aggressive, I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, especially since I think ZETA Division, little by little, is warming up more and more, getting more and more comfortable, especially in those more chaotic fights that Hardpoint does have over capture the flag. But going into Keeper, it's very, very similar. It is very, very chaotic, very, very aggressive. But at times, we have seen teams able to set up, whether if it's at the tower, basement side of the map, or just consistently rotate that key around with the Infiltrator class that we do see introduced into that Keeper and sometimes the capture the flag most.
Yeah, I'm just looking here at how the players might be handling this. It is a difficult start. If you lose both the first maps, you know it's going to be a difficult comeback. You got to win every single one from here on out. First to 3 with this keeper mode, though, it's the start of a possible comeback if you can make it happen. As a reminder to how this game mode is played out, it's on a completely different map, Taverna Zoni. And then how it works is it's the first team that gets to 150 points will win. To get points, there's a key on the map that you need to take control of. One player can pick it up. They'll get a little movement debuff, so they'll go slower, but they will be securing points per second for their team. And if there's enough of a gap between the points on both teams competing, so if one team is incredibly in the lead compared to the other, then the opposing team will get 2 points per second instead of 1 point per second. So it's a fun game mode, a lot of aggression, a lot of battling it out nonstop, and we'll see if kind of the strategies from yesterday have evolved, Jacob.
Yeah, I want to see ZETA kind of use their tricks. This is one of those new modes to where teams can have, you know, cards left up their sleeves, ready to kind of throw it down. And this is one of those moments to where it's an elimination match. Yes, we are in group stages, but you no longer have that comfortability of being able to lose a game. Your tournament life is on the line for ZETA Division. So I need to see them pull out all the stops here on Keeper, whether they're switching different specialists, you know, putting the marksman away, adding something extra onto the map that we have seen some teams do and utilize so far. That's what I need to see out of ZETA. Because so far right now, Dragon eSports, strategy aside, because they do have some good strategy and setups that we've seen on CTF and on Hardpoint, they're just simply just outslaying most of the times. Most of the individual battles, most of the team battles, just going way of Dragon eSports. And ZETA, first and foremost, need to figure out a way to slow that down.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of eliminations, you said Dragons are slaying more, and overall they are as a team. All of them had around 20 eliminations, except for Randu, who had 29. But if you look at the ZETA roster, Mini had 33 eliminations, although his teammates could not quite keep up. Yuma had 7, Coyote had 19, Zagao had 18. But the 33 elims from Mini did an incredible run on the hard point. Now, the issue is on Keeper. It's more than just eliminations, about team chemistry, the synergy that they have to keep their teammates up and running. So we'll see if they can kind of forget about the previous 2 matches and just focus on the current game.
Yeah, because I've always said, you know, in a 5-map series, best of 5, that You just need to win three, whether it's the first three, the last three, or any mix of three in between. You just need to win three. Yeah, you might be playing more maps than you want, more stress by going down 0-2, but Zeta still had to win three maps at the end of the day, and it could start here with Keeper, getting the momentum on their side. And I think it just relies on this opening strat, because if Zeta wins this opening strat, gets the Keeper or the key and a couple of eliminations, that starts to build the confidence. That starts to build the momentum. But on the other side, if Zeta loses the opening match, Dragons will continue to build their confidence. They'll continue to feel like they can play however they want and continue to shut down Zeta.
And we'll see as the game starts up. The first Keeper match of the day, third map. Let's see what goes on.
Trades in through the middle. Zagu's first going to be the only one going down, but Coyote quickly follows. And you can see Dragon eSports getting that early key control in the hands of Romero. And you can see the switch up. Romero, typically the marksman, switching on over to the infiltrator, giving him a little bit of a movement boost, which when you have the key, that kind of negates and slows you down just a little bit. So he's trying to even the tides. A couple quick eliminations from Zeta early on are trying to get the key out of the hands of Dragon eSports.
Continuing to hold on here. Dragons already has 35 points. This is only 150. It's not like 250 on Hardpoint. So 40 points off the bat is incredibly strong. To go with a nice little snipe is going to come through, but Randu looking unstoppable as he continues to get eliminations. Is going to be shut down by Mini. This was the elimination leader of the whole match, including all of Dragon's roster in the Hardpoint game mode. So he's going to be a danger with this key, but the cluster grenades are going to get the best of him.
Yep, and see his teammates still trying to battle it out. And you saw they put it in the Juggernaut hand. They thought that extra HP would have made the difference, but he gets beamed, clustered in the outside of zone, unable to escape. So the key is going to go back in the hands of Dragon. Yuma's doing what he can to turn the time. Nice EMP to break the shields, but the numbers game just a little bit too much as Randu gets the elimination, keeps the key in hand, and keeps Dragon eSports gaining points.
Zeta's gonna have to lock in here. The snipe is gonna come through, just one shot away. But to go needs his teammates to back him up here as he continues with his push. They're on the run. Romero with that key card is getting it done. 70 points already for Dragons as they keep on going.
Yeah, just continues rotating around. Every time that somebody from Dragon spawns in, that's a good amount of information, and that's where they try to rotate to, away from the Zeta players where they have help. But Zeta's doing a good job of pairing together a couple of eliminations here. They got to be able to take down Randu, but a nice EMP yet again, breaking the shields, keeping him alive.
Continuing on forwards, but is going to get shut down. Randu now with a trade. Lua looking to pick up one more. He gets Yuma, but now the 2v1 is going to be too difficult to overcome. And Zeta Division finally look like they have a bit of time to work with this key here, but they're going to have to regroup and get a lot of points.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time left on the actual clock. With the way this has been going, we might even reach 150, but Minipio gets another back-to-back eliminations, keeping the key intact. But Romero is scrambling in, trying to find one, but Yuma takes him down. The trade still favoring Zeta for a little bit, but it does look like Dragon was able to get the key out of there throughout all that chaos.
Somehow they snuck it up, but Mini does not want to let that one slide too easily as he continues with his push, taking out one, looking to get the second, successfully getting that elimination. Lua being the last one. Now looks like Zeta Division once again with that key card, and they're actually getting closer and closer to Dragons here.
Yeah, they got about 50 seconds to catch up with more than double that left on the clock, but iTroll just gets the key back in the hands of Dragon. You see the relay on over. They want to make sure they keep it in the infiltrator's hands. Romero's scrambling around. They know the players of Zeta are trying to push in, get the elimination. And you see iTroll. He's just pretending that he's with his teammate, tries to hide, but he goes down to Minipio. Zeta trying to make a last-second push. They have 30 seconds left before Dragon eSports takes round one.
Yeah, 130 points almost for Dragons. They're going to be just 20 points away. That's 20 seconds of that key card, but Romero is going to go down. Yuma's going to pick it up, and now Zago is going to be able to hold off for his team.
You see them just kind of rotating around. They're not locking in on basement. They're not locking in on tower. They're just trying to keep the rotation going, keep Zeta out from setting up and trying to stop them, and it's been working out through most of this time. But Zeta, they have the key in hand. Dragon is trying to figure out where it's at, where they can make a push from, and that's going to start it with 2 Zeta Division members going down. They get the key back. Romero is going to scramble around. He just needs 10 seconds before this round is done and over with.
This is the last round. Well, for first round for Keeper, Dragons is going to take it. And now we are going to be getting into the last round of Keeper. Potentially, if Dragons take it home, they not only won Keeper, this will be the third map, and they will take match 1, fully eliminating ZETA.
This is big for ZETA now, because it's not just maps that you need to go down. It's not 2 maps you need to lose, because you already lost those, and now you're on the brink of elimination. Everything that you fought for months, the online competition, the in-person competition, boils down to this. 5 minutes left in this round. You have to win this round, and already Dragon Esports goes in, gets the key, and gets on out, starting Romero's rotations around the map.
They're going to continue on holding. They had a strong start in the first round of Keeper, got almost 50 points without contestation. As now, the way it looking, Romero has his bodyguard, Randu, looking to see if he can hold off Yuma, gets that initial elimination. Romero going to continue on rotating, continue on running through. We saw in an interview with Fnatic, actually, they were talking about some of the initial strategies on this Keeper map was kind of play on those points of interest, the basement, the edge of the map, and just kind of hold there and sit there and play defensively. But as the meta's been evolving now, a lot of these players are just kind of making rotates through the map as they have that key card held, instead of kind of just holding those prime positions. They just kind of want to rotate through everywhere. But with a 51-3 lead for Dragons, it's looking incredibly bright for them.
Yeah, they're literally rotating from tunnel to tiles to window to back rocks. They're not even setting up in one spot. They're just getting eliminations, keeping it moving. But nice shot by Zagu, trying to get things on their side. But Romero once again rotating that one around. He's trying to get out alive with the infiltrator. He does have that little bit of extra movement, but he finally gets caught. 3 members of ZETA get quick eliminations to find the players of Dragon Esports, get the key out of their hands and take control. They have a 70-point deficit to try to overcome with their tournament lives on the line.
They finally picked up the key card, but at what cost? Long ways to go just to catch up to Dragons in this round, and with the eliminations coming through by Lua, they are looking unstoppable.
Everything ZETA just did in that moment just came crumbling down as quick as it got built up. Dragon, they're looking to close this one out. They need about 70 seconds to go. Lua's running around, scrambling. He knows a player of ZETA is following him. He doesn't have help. It is going to be a 1v1, and a 1v1 he's capable of winning, and now he's on 20 eliminations on top of it.
Looks like they're going to hold this point of interest, as now ZETA has another push to come through, but they've got to regroup here. They can't be pushing in one by one. They need to make a team effort here.
Yeah, and they need to make it now. They're running out of time. They're running out of time very, very quickly. Another one's going to fall. Mini PO is going to go down. Romero's moving in. He has iTroll there. He has Randu as well. Yuma, he's scrambling. He might be the only player here that can stop Randu from getting time, but he gets taken down. Yuma's scrambling. There's only a few seconds left. Ramiro, because of that distraction, was able to get out and keep the key from rotating around.
20 seconds is what's the difference for this match right now. If Dragons can just hold on, this could be the end for ZETA Division and the start to a potential lower bracket run for Dragons Esports. Just 5 more seconds are left. 1 elimination on Romero is what ZETA needs, but they're not going to be able to do it, and Dragons are still in the game.
They do it. They complete the 3-0 sweep. And yes, they did have the slaying power. But I think the most important thing that we saw from Dragons as they took down ZETA Division was their teamwork, the rotation, the strategy that they